First half give you a few gray hairs?
The whole game did. Just got sloppy, and we did some good things when the ball movement was good. But we went into the game with some things we wanted to work on, and I'm not sure we got those things accomplished.
Is that difficult in a game like this where, theoretically the athleticism is pretty much a mismatch from the start? Is it difficult to dial it in?
It depends on the team. Teams that focus in on what they're about to face and know that they got challenges ahead, show maturity. Then they realize that they've got to make steps every time out. We've got to understand that we've got some ball games coming up. Mississippi starting on Sunday, that we've got to play a lot better. Our execution offensively has got to be a lot better. Defensively, we got to tie a lot of things up. I was hoping to get some of that accomplished tonight, and I don't feel like we did. So Mississippi on Sunday is going to be a heck of a challenge for us. They're bigger, stronger, more experienced, and we're going to have to play a heck of a game. We had a heck of a game with them last year in overtime, at their place, and so they feel like they owe us. We got to go to Illinois the following Saturday. Another payback game for them, the 2 games that we won last year. So we're going to have our hands full, and I'm not sure we're preparing for the future.
Any impressions of Dwayne in his return?
He practiced yesterday, so said he was ready to go. I thought he was a little rusty with a few of his turnovers, but I thought he did some good things.
Entering the year, you guys had questions of depth. How have you guys answered that so far?
Well, I think we're making progress there. We're taking way too many possessions off. I don't know if we got guys just pacing themselves, thinking they're going to be out there for a long period or whatever. But we've got to sharpen a lot of things up. And with Dwayne back, we've got an 8-man rotation there that we can play. And we got to stay healthy. But if we got those 8 guys, we got plenty of guys.
Are you pretty comfortable with that 8-man rotation right now?
Well, right now, Theo gives us a 9th, and Tim, is able to go in there and play a few minutes inside. Max just won an appeal, and he's eligible now, so he gives us another ball handler, and we got plenty of depth. Our guys need to concentrate on playing a heck of a lot harder in the minutes they're getting.
Being pretty dominant inside, is that an aberration of who you were playing, or do you think your bigs have come along and do that?
Well, I think because of their mobility that they can cause a lot of problems for people. We're obviously not going to overpower anybody, but their mobility, Elgin's mobility, Jordan's mobility, Dwayne, Dylan, we get some matchup problems there because they're quicker. They're undersized, and it's going to cause some problems on the defensive end. But it should help us on the offensive end.
Was it a good sign then what you saw at that end tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was good to, get some points inside to penetrate and kick and dump off and have Jordan finish some shots in there. And Elgin had been struggling a little bit from the field, so he got a few shots down tonight. So all that was encouraging.
Dylan, has had a heck of a year so far. What do you attribute his success to early?
Well, Dylan's got really good instincts, and he's got a knack for scoring. He's just scratching the surface. It's just a matter of how good he wants to be, how hard he wants to work. He's got to play a lot harder. He's got to work a lot harder. But there's no one arguing his talent or his ability to score or his basketball savvy.
Are you concerned at all with Joe's jump shooting? It seems like he's off a little bit. I know he shot decently tonight, but he got a couple easy layups.
No, he's 0 for 5 from 3. He's got to pick and choose. He's got to get back on track. Got to get in the gym and get a lot of shots up. Every shooter goes through it. He was fortunate last year. He didn't have many games where he didn't shoot it well. We're asking him to do some other things this year, handling the ball and so forth. And he's just got to get in his rhythm. But he does have to, pick and choose. Anytime a shooter's in a little bit of a slump, when he has a few ball games where he doesn't shoot it well, he's got to pick and choose and get back on track with shots he really likes. It's no different than any other sport. When you're off a little bit, you got to go back to picking and choosing and get something that you really like.
Jordan get a cut on his arm or
Yeah,
scratch?
yeah. He, I guess he gashed it. They put a few stitches in it, but he'll be all right.
Coach, knowing your team the way you do when it comes to the Ole Miss game, do you expect these guys to play up to that level of competition? Obviously, tonight it kind of took them a while to get going.
I don't know. Like I said, we had an opportunity to do that against Michigan and VCU, and we hung around for a while, but we didn't win. There's a big difference between hanging around and winning. This team's got a tremendous amount of work ahead of it. We've got to make progress in a lot of different areas, and we can. Those young guys can get a lot better, and we can be a lot tougher as a team and play together a lot more offensively and defensively. So, I like where we can move into, but we've got to start moving with some of these ball games we got coming up.
How do you get moving?
Well, we got to practice and communicate on the defensive end. Offensively, we've got to execute better. Guys have got to make the right cuts. The timing's got to improve. We got to cut down on turnovers. We had 16 turnovers tonight. Just guys trying to make plays that weren't there. So we've got a lot of work to do in a lot of areas.
Mississippi a lot different without Henderson?
They play hard just like they always have. Last year he was a dominant offensive figure. They're doing some different things defensively with the 1-3-1 zone and doing some things. So we'll need both days to get ready. We've got some academic things to tie up here. We're ending the quarter here, so guys got a lot of stuff to do. And tomorrow we want them to knock that out. So Friday and Saturday we can concentrate on Mississippi. But we'll need 2 good days to get ready for them. There's no doubt about that.